So
yeah, we can definitely. So guys, just to give you a backstory, like I said, when Leah spoke about the work she does, I was like, yes, please, like sign me up. So I indulgently agreed for Leah to do you call it the mapping of the nervous system, right?
Yes.
Do you want to quickly explain it to people before we then get into it, or we'll
absolutely. Well, and so I would invite everyone who's listening to do this as well. So, maybe if you're driving or you're cooking or doing dishes or whatever you do when you listen to a podcast, maybe you pause and actually listen to this one when you're at your desk, and you can kind of pause in between the questions and answer it for yourself. Certainly wouldn't hurt you can listen right now and then go back and do this. Repetition
yes, Leah, get them to keep listening to the episode.
Repetition is really good and it's really good for our subconscious mind and our nervous system. So you can either listen now, or you can get a pen and paper out and you can actually do this with us, because again, we all have this autonomic nervous system. And really what we're going to do is we're going to ask your body where those different nervous system states live. So again, on that parasympathetic branch, we talked about there's that kind of the top where you're socially engaged. There's the middle section, which we classically know of as the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight. And then we have the bottom of the ladder, which is the freeze response, which is the dorsal shutdown. And there's, I think, about 5 or 7 questions at each state, and we'll just ask you and then kind of look at each state. And there's a really fun, probably the most helpful piece is do you guys remember Mad Libs, like a fill in the blank sentence?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to give you a sentence and I'm going to have you fill in the blanks, and that sentence itself, and I could tell you're feeling nervous a little bit right now. The nerves are coming up.
Very honest.
And I promise
my body's tensing up right now.
Yes. But that sentence itself is probably going to give you the 2 underlying kind of stories or core beliefs that you have around money in each state. So then that's going to give you a lot of juicy stuff that you can kind of work with afterwards.
Okay. Like you said that you already noticed, I'll be very honest. But guys, believe it or not, I know I'm hosting the podcast and I do share my experiences, but a nervousness surrounds me when it comes to putting myself on the spotlight and talking of personal experiences. So there is a bit of nervousness, but yes, let's get into it.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Yeah. And I think that I'm hoping you will be pleasantly surprised.
I'm hoping
how
so
much
too.
I have a sense that you know yourself and your body more than you think. And we've all been living in these bodies and with these nervous systems our whole lives. So there's actually a more intimacy than we might imagine. So we're going to start at the top of the ladder. We're going to keep it easy. We're going to start where it's good and juicy. And this top of the ladder, this social engagement system, this new kind of block that they've discovered within our nervous system, is called ventral vagal. So ventral vagal is this place of connection, of safety, of security, of really just like an ease and a connection to yourself, an ease and a connection to others, to nature, to spirit, like that you just feel like life is good, things are okay. And so we are gonna do this. This is a little interesting to do this with money. So what we're gonna do is with each state, each stop on our ladder, so there's only 3, we're gonna just pull up the little flavor of that state of your nervous system. And so we are going to use money for this case because it's fun. It's an experiment. The more fun we have, our brains really love fun, and you can have actually more change with a little bit of fun. So I want you to think about a time, and it doesn't have to be getting a check for $1,000 in the mail or something like that. A time where in relation to money, you felt really good, really easeful, really okay, really like things are working out, things are good. I feel abundant. I feel generous. Would you like to share what came to your mind? You got it really fast.
You see the smile on my face.
I did. I saw the smile right away.
I know I've left corporate world, but it was my salary upon leaving corporate world. Like I felt good. I'd got to space in my career at the time that I could command that much salary.
Yes. I love it. Yes. So that I love it. So when you think about that you created, your salary that you created out of your wisdom and your intelligence and your gifts, and you feel that abundance and that kind of really good feeling around money, where does that state come alive in your body? Where do you notice it in your body? Maybe you notice a tightness or a looseness somewhere or a weight. Do you notice it in your chest, your arms?
That's interesting, actually. So the immediate notice was like the immediate observation. I definitely noticed something around my neck. And then I noticed a heaviness around my shoulders and the chest area. But then I also felt like a tingle in my legs. I don't know if it's just because it's cold in London at the moment.
We'll see. Maybe there's lots of clues. But so for folks who aren't watching the YouTube, who are listening to the audio, like she did with her hands, like the classic motion of just somebody, like the superwoman pose of confidence, like, you know, that we learned. She moved her hands kind of across her neck, her shoulders dropped down, and there was just an openness to your chest.
I wasn't even aware of that.
Yeah. But that open, that confident, that good, just things are good. That's great. Did you notice, did any colors or sensation, or you talked about the tingling in your legs, maybe an image or a color come up at all?
No, but I felt like waves, if that makes sense. So like literally like the ocean.
I feel waves too, yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I'll share mine after. I won't focus on you. And when you're in this place, when there's kind of this openness across your neck and weight down in your shoulders so that you're just open and relaxed, there's kind of that wave energy moving through you. What thoughts do you think here?
I feel super confident. I'm like, yes, of course they paid me that much. Like, of course I deserve it. And I just feel there's a very like knowingness, and there's like a very like calm, secure, like just confidence, like oozing confidence, basically.
And a knowing. And so some of those were, so those were actually more, I would say, feelings: calm, secure, confident. What thoughts are you thinking? So the first thought that I like, of course I deserve it.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts that you have here?
The other thought was, this feels right. And this might come across as cocky to some people, but it's also like, it's about time.
Yes. I want you to take that word, I want you to, when you re-listen to that, take that story of what you just said, that it feels confident or it feels cocky. That's a money story, right? That like, women shouldn't be well paid and all those things. And if somehow you have money, then someone else couldn't have that same success. So that's a fun one for you to play with afterwards. So we talked a little bit about the feelings and the emotions. So you want to ask yourself, what do you think here? What do you feel here? And then what do you say here? What are the things that you say? What do you say to your partner when you're feeling this? So it maybe doesn't even have anything to do with the money itself, but what kinds of things are you saying when you're feeling this level of openness and knowing and calm? And of course, the kind of security there.
So what I'm saying is, I mean, we talk constantly about the type of life we want to have. We talk about like growing food on our own farm. So like what I'm saying is like, we can finally do all the things we want to do. We can do all the traveling we want to do. We can also, because we talk about like working together also in the service industry.
Yeah.
So I'm saying like, well, it's time for us to grow and start the projects we've been wanting to start on. Like, we finally have time to spend quality time together.
And there's like a noise. I hear confidence. Like, now's the time.
Absolutely. It's like, like it can happen. Like, we've had the plans. Now's the time. Let's do it.
Awesome. How's your sleep?
When
When you know that money's coming into your bank account, you know, and
like a baby. And more importantly, actually, definitely like a baby. But I remember seeing this on social media once, someone saying like why they want money is because they want to be able to wake up without an alarm. I was like, I absolutely resonate with that. Like, I want to be able to wake up without the alarm going off in my ear.
Perfect. And then what is your relationship to food or nourishment in this place?
Ooh.
Like, when you're just knowing and know you deserve it and you're actualizing those plans, you guys are talking about those plans. And
well, to be honest, I'd be more intentional in terms of my relationship with food, because I tried going vegan for like a month, and then I've played around like with my eating habits, but my relationship with food is like, I feel like I'd be more intentional. And a part of me is like, I could always just get a chef to cook the food I want them to cook for me.
A lot of abundant possibility.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay. See, that was fun, right? You knew all those answers. There was nothing that stumped you.
Absolutely no need for nervousness. It was actually fun, I have to say.
All right. So now we're going to shake it off. And we're going to go to the next ladder rung down, because our nervous system actually works in an automatic hierarchy. So you never skip steps. Our body always moves regularly through these steps. We're just going to step down the ladder. But I want you to kind of know this feeling. So if we need a little bit of this energy, we can always tap back into that. So now we're moving into sympathetic activation or mobilization energy. So this is our fight or flight place. So I want you to think about, again, you don't need to go to total trigger place of I've lost everything. But around money.
Sorry,
so
my phone dropped.
Maybe around money, like a small activity that would cause you stress. Sympathetic is the place of our stress or our cortisol. So maybe that is, an extra bill came in and we don't quite have that money, or maybe even a conversation with your partner around money that like kind of creates that little bit of like stress. Do you have a little one?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Okay.
The ideas were like, the images were popping into my head.
Okay. Give us. What are the images coming in for stress?
Yeah. Do you want to say?
So we'll do this and we'll go back. We'll just finish differently. I'm sorry I got so involved. I missed a step.
It's okay. But even thinking about, when you say thinking about like literally just having a conversation with my partner about money already causes stressful like symptoms in my body. And
okay, so we're going right that. So your image is a conversation with your partner. Okay. So ask your body, ask your nervous system to show you where this state, this sympathetic state, this stress state comes alive for you in your body.
Honestly, Lea, like I'm just feeling myself wanting to escape out of my body, like wanting to run away, basically.
Okay.
Like literally, it's a very like volatile energy. So it's like a lot of energies wanting to escape my body all in one go. And then my throat is like closing up. And then my hands feel very tense.
Mm-hmm. Is there any heaviness anywhere or tightness? You said your throat feels a little closed, hands
Yeah,
feel
yeah. So
tense.
there's tightness in my throat, and then my whole body feels heavy. So
Okay.
it almost feels like there's a separation. So I suppose my soul is wanting to run away, but my body's super heavy.
Okay. Okay. And so this is great. You're feeling your body and when you're kind of getting activated. We're going to keep going. I'm curious if we maybe chose something that was a little bit bigger, but we'll see. This is the experience. What thoughts do you think when you're here?
It's just, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to rely on someone for help. I'm gonna get in trouble talking about money. Because growing up, there was tension of talking about money in my family. Because the biggest narrative, like, money doesn't grow on trees. Like,
Yep.
I always hear, like, my mom's voice always saying that. We don't have enough, living from hand to mouth, like those phrases always came up. So like thinking of talking about it, it's just, I'm gonna get in trouble talking about it to someone.
Okay. Trouble. This is good. Okay. What feelings are you having?
I'm having conflicting feelings because, like, I think I said it's almost like my I've split into two parts of me. So there's a part of me that's like, girl, we got this. Money's good. We can have an open dialogue. Like, you have open conversation with your partner. You communicate with, like, about everything. What's the issue? And then, so it's literally like a battle. I feel like there's a battle with two sides of me at the moment.
And so you said the two sides. And it sounds like there's some fear, tension.
Definitely. Big fear.
Okay. What do you do in this place? So we've talked about how you're thinking and how you're feeling. What do you do? Or what do you say?
What do I say? Well, recently, because this has been my priority, I've slowly started to open up with my partner and be like, look, I don't really feel comfortable talking about money, but I'm working on it. So right now, like I said, there's that part of me that's like, girl, we got this. So I'm pretty much talking to myself.
Yes.
And I'm encouraging myself to sit there and have that conversation.
So that's good. You have a tether in ventral vagal. So that's your ventral vagal self. That's your self that was abundant, right? Still able to stay conscious of that. Which is the goal, is that we can be in the different states. And even when we're in sympathetic and feeling stressed and not knowing what to say and tension, our throat feel like it's closing, our hands feeling tense, like we can always be aware that that ventral vagal state, that state where everything's good, of course, like I deserve it, still exists, because it always does. Every state always simultaneously exists. So I love that you have intentionally already created kind of an internal tether. How do you sleep when you're kind of stressed about money?
Definitely insomnia, like no sleep, constantly waking up throughout the night.
And then what is your relationship to food and nourishment when you're stressed?
Definitely binge eating, I imagine. Lots of sweet treats, not being able to have any discipline or self-control when it comes to I become very like self-indulgent in terms of like, at least I can control this, so I'm gonna have as many sweets and as much chocolate as I want. Thank you very much.
I will take the control. Thank you.
Exactly.
Since I can't control this other thing, here is where I will exert my control. And so this is great. Again, you're doing incredible. I forgot, friends, the very important sentence for each state, because this is super helpful. So we'll end with doing the sentence for ventral vagal, but now for sympathetic. Feel yourself in sympathetic, stressed, throat closing, hands tense, almost a heaviness. You don't want to talk about it. There's tension, there's fear, there's insomnia. You're waking up. You're kind of taking that control where you can with your substances, with the food and things in your life. And when I am in sympathetic, so the sentence is, when I am in sympathetic, I am blank and the world is. So how would you describe I am what? And the world is what?
When I am in sympathetic, I am small. And this is weird. And the world is my enemy. That's what comes up.
And the reason
this
is
strange for me.
Well, what's so interesting is that story exists within us in those states. And the story is not necessarily a true story, right? You don't actually believe that story when you're consciously asking yourself that story.
Yeah.
But that story lives in our behavior, and that's where we can shift from. And and then when you think about, because again, you're about taking courageous action, how effective do you think your action is going to be when you feel small and the world feels like your enemy?
Well, I won't take any action.
Right?
Yeah, I just imagine myself running and hiding every single time because I'm small and they're all my enemy. I have to hide. I have to hide away from them. Like, it'd be very hard to take action.
So I actually think we may have activated, because remember I told you that the ladder we go in 3 levels. So we go from ventral vagal to sympathetic, and then the last place is called dorsal shutdown. And a lot of what you were describing actually sounded like we dropped through sympathetic to dorsal. So. I think we did, especially given the language and that the world is your enemy and you feel really small, because dorsal is, and hey guys, this is the adventure, and there's no right or wrong. This is where we'll figure it out. But what I would say is that is often that is the place of last resort. That is the place of ultimate protection. That is the place that the world is overwhelming and closing in on me and unsafe. And I just need to hide in a corner and disassociate. So disassociation is really, really common in dorsal shutdown, because you're ultimately, again, from an evolutionary standpoint, you're like preparing for the saber-toothed tiger to attack. So you're moving out of your body. So when you were saying like, I want to escape my body, I was like, oh, I think we went too far. I think we went all the way to the bottom, which is okay. But I didn't want to stop you because you were there and you were in your energy. But that is your body literally preparing for physical pain. And so you separate from your body. And so friends, this is the adventure of mapping your nervous system. So I think we just did dorsal shutdown for you. Yeah. So this is fun. So now we're gonna shake it out, because we want to kind of move that energy out. And now we're gonna see if we can find the middle. We're gonna see if we can find sympathetic, which is more and maybe because money is something that you're working on so much right now that there are a lot of emotions tied to it right now. So I'm thinking maybe we choose an example that's not money. So what I want for sympathetic is like missing the bus, or you feel stressed because you're in traffic and you didn't make it to the thing that you're going to be 10 minutes late, or you're some people, not like a full on trigger session, but like seeing a spider, or, see something that kind of startles you and makes you stressed, makes you scared. A phone call from somebody that kind of stresses you out. I think back to corporate days, like when your boss would come into your office and be like, you thought you had your day planned and now I need this from you. Like that stress. Can we get there? You got a little something for that? And we'll just leave money out of it for this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I have one? Let's think about it. Yeah, I've got one. Yeah.
So being late somewhere,
Yeah.
being, thinking you had your day planned and somebody else like comes in and stresses you out with a request.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So what came up for you?
So corporate world, trying to like get my work done. I was about to.
Yeah.
Trying
Yeah.
to get my work
The
done,
overwhelm of so many things on your plate.
Exactly. And then you receive that extra email and you're just like, oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah. Okay. Good. That's where we are.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that you're back at your desk at your corporate world, you've got a big plate of things to do, you're getting that extra request. Now ask your nervous system to show you where in your body does this sympathetic state come alive for you.
Okay, I'm going to try and get myself in the visualization. So or maybe this is too mild because I see myself eye rolling in the visualization.
Yeah.
What else do I see? I see myself like swiveling in my chair as well, but it's just like it feels irritated. Basically.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything in your stomach?
In my stomach? Oh, that's interesting actually. I don't know. I don't think I've paid attention because again, I'm trying to like think back to something. Yeah. But I don't think in those moments, maybe, actually.
Well, and see, what's fun is now moving forward, there's going to be a time where you guys are running 10 minutes late. And now you can be like, wait, where is when I'm like, oh, we're supposed to be there and I can't believe, and you didn't do the thing and now we're 10 minutes late. Then you can feel and you're like, where else is it in your body? Because it's just we're never done. We're never done learning about our body. We're never done getting messages. What does this, so is there any color or
weight? The color's like orangey red, but more on the red of the spectrum.
And what thoughts do you think when you're here?
I think this is a waste of my time. This person's really annoying. This is such an easy thing they could just do on their own. Stop bothering me.
So feeling annoyed, feeling irritated, any other feelings coming up for you?
Any other feelings? I know I definitely need to be like, why do I even bother? Like there's more to life than a missed email. Definitely a lot of irritation.
Yeah. And okay, and what do you do?
Depends on the time of the day. Well, so good question. So to be honest, if I wanted to be rebellious, I'll ignore it, and like if it's the end of the day, I'll be like, I'll do this tomorrow. Or also I'd have that dialogue with myself, like it's really not the end of the world. I do it tomorrow. But to be honest, what do? I normally typically rebellious and take time to respond, or I like angrily tap. But obviously try and keep it, angry tapping.
And it almost sounds like there's a little bit of judgment happening.
Absolutely.
Like come on.
Oh, it's very evident judgment. Like I'm definitely judging that person in that moment.
Yeah. And again, friends, this is the human condition. We all do this. There are no wrong emotions. We all do all these things. So how do you sleep when you're feeling irritated and angry and just annoyed and bothered?
So
does it affect your sleep?
Yeah, it does affect my sleep. But then I feel like it affects my sleep even more because I'm like, I'm annoyed that it's affecting me, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
because before with the money, I was like, that's an actual issue. Of course it's keeping me up. But with this, where it feels so trivial, I'm like, I
Like
can't
that
believe
pesky
the
mosquito.
exactly.
All right. And then what's your relationship with food or nourishment when you're
I
irritated?
definitely, when I'm irritated, I do still try and eat the odd treats here and there, but it's not as heavy as like wanting to binge. So it won't be
Got it.
binging, but
Mhm.
I still crave, I definitely crave more sweets.
Cravings. Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. So good. We've got the flavor of sympathetic for your body. So now when you're in this irritated and annoyed and judgy and frustrated that people are coming at you with all this stuff that they could do themselves, when I am in sympathetic, I am blank and the world is blank.
Okay. That was easier and it definitely feels lighter. When I'm in
Yes.
sympathetic, I am irritated and the world is annoying.
Awesome. Yes. So different people have, for some people, sympathetic is the one that's really uncomfortable to be in and feels like scary to be in. And for other people, dorsal is the one that feels a little bit more scary to be in and a little bit more intense. So everybody's a little bit differently. So when we did this, so I did this same exercise with my co-host on my podcast.
Yeah.
Her place, sympathetic, is the place that's really kind of scary for her to be. And I'm more like you, like, I don't want to be in dorsal. Like that place is like intense. And I will tell you, where's my word? When I am in dorsal, I'm worthless and the world is hopeless. Like kind of same as you, like really intense. And same when I'm in sympathetic, I'm frustrated and angry and the world is irritating. Like you and I are like, this is just annoying. Like, but if somebody wants to listen to contrast, maybe we can link that episode too, to kind of hear another person go through the process. Cause sometimes it's really helpful to hear because we all, but when you started to describe some of the closing down, I knew we had gotten into dorsal, which is, again, we're learning. So we're going to shake out when we're going to come back to that ventral energy. And I know we're chatting long, so we'll kind of finish up with this last thing and then whatever questions you have, because we forgot to do the sentence in ventral. So this is actually a fun way to go back to, you felt those waves of energy through you. You felt even a tingling in your legs, the neck kind of raised up, the shoulders dropped with some weight because you were like, that is right. Give me that money. Of course, I deserve it. So can we get back into that place?
Yes.
You're feeling that place?
There.
Okay.
You don't have to tell me twice.
All right, great. Yes, fun to get back there. So when I am in ventral, because we didn't do the sentence, so I want your listeners to have the sentence because the sentence is so powerful. When I am in ventral, I am blank and the world is blank.
When I'm in ventral, I am free and the world is loving.
Yeah. So when we look at creating any kind of change in our life, whether that's around money or entrepreneurial activities, taking action in a business, taking action at work, when we are looking to repair a relationship or improve a relationship with our kids, with our spouse, with parents, when we are looking to repair a relationship with ourselves, when we're looking to, how do I care for myself? How do I nurture myself? How do I nourish myself? How am I exercising? Or, what foods am I eating? When you said free and loving, right?
Yeah, free and loving.
When I am free and the world is loving, how much more possible does it feel to take the actions that we need to do the things we have to take action to achieve things? How much more possible does it feel? How easy does it feel?
It's so easy.
Like when you're like, okay, I got to go write a message for my business and I got to go like, I'm free. And the world is loving.
Exactly.
The world is loving. No matter what happens, I'm giving love. I'm getting love back. Like it's light.
Yeah.
So what's so cool about this work is now that you can feel it, one, like your world is going to shift. You're going to be out and about and you're going to start being like, oh, I'm going into sympathetic. And so a lot of what I do is like, okay, what are some tools? And I know we're kind of short on time here, but the goal is to have ways to shift, because none of these states are wrong. Every single one of these states is designed to protect you and has protected you throughout your life in different situations. There were times where we needed to disassociate and kind of not feel and not think and not talk about stuff, because that was the safest thing to do in that moment. And the challenge is when we get stuck in any one of these places. And so the goal is to just create flexibility. So to me, a regulated nervous system is one that's flexible, because guess what? I still want you to have sympathetic activation. You know, when if you're driving your car and you have to slam on your brakes, that's sympathetic. That's all unconscious, that your body perceived the danger coming and took action. That was adrenaline.
Yeah.
If you've ever had a kid have an accident and you're there, and that is the adrenaline. You still need the adrenaline. We need the adrenaline. Yes, there's no saber-toothed tigers, but there are moments. But we don't need our email causing us to get into sympathetic, because that's actually not a saber-toothed tiger. So that's really what I think of as a regulated nervous system, is a flexible nervous system, one that can flexibly move, and that we can be empowered to spend more and more of our time in that ventral vagal state where you're free and the world is loving. My sentence is, when I'm in ventral, I'm connected and the world is joyful and fun.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So we can, and our body knows the way. Our nervous system is literally created and wired to move us through these three states throughout the day. So that wisdom is within you.
Lea, like typically the episodes are normally around 30 minutes, but this has been so powerful and definitely so worth it. Like, honestly, I was curious to see like how the episode was going to pan out, but I never, like, my mind is blown. Like, honestly, I really love that. Like, also, I like making an impact when it feels fun as well. Like, and definitely you made it fun. So I really like that as well. And I know we're running out of time, so I imagine people would be curious. They'd want to know more about you. So do you just want to share where we can find you? And I am going to add it in the description as well, but please share.
Of course. Well, the first thing I want to share with your audience is a really fun 7-minute quick quiz, which again is intended to be fun, because when we have a little bit more fun, it makes it easy, about your nervous system type. So we each kind of have a type. So it's leadurante.com/quiz. And it's quick, 7 questions. It's like those old ones from Cosmo magazine where you like figure out what you are. And it's your quote unquote type. Nobody really has a type, but it's for fun. So I would really point everyone to, again, redo this episode to gain from that. But that quiz will also give you a lot of information. That is my website, leadurante.com. So you can find me there. I'm on social, Instagram and LinkedIn. So if you're in either of those places, I'd love to connect with you. So that is at both places, it's lea.durante.np. And I got an email list and all those kind of good things. So would be happy to talk about. If anybody does this, it's always really fun to hear about. So please send me a DM or an email via my website, and we can connect.
Thanks, Lea. Guys, I mean, I think you'll agree when I say, like, what a great start to the year. Like, this was definitely, I'm so glad we did this, because this is beyond what I expected in a very good way. So I'm so glad you joined us, Lea. And guys, be sure to check her out. Like, hello, like,
lots of free stuff. I got tons of free resources. So my ventral vagal state is one of a lot of generosity, and I really want to get this kind of information out into the world. So come find me and enjoy all the goodies, the free goodies.
Definitely, guys. Did you hear that? I don't think I have to tell you twice to go enjoy some free goodies. Like, hello, like, if you don't click on it, I'm clicking on it. So get there before me. But Lea, once again, thank you so much. And I'm sure we'll probably be seeing you like in the future, because Fierce Feminine is all about women like you. So thank you once again, and so grateful to have you on here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really, really enjoyed it. And I so appreciate your openness and willingness to explore so with such curiosity and courage. It's really beautiful to witness. So this was really fun for me too. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Leah.